Welcome back. I am your host. I am attorney Stephen Leahy, and I am here with my nephew, my co-host, my very good friend, Jim Leahy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to keep this very classy, it's a very
well, good luck with that.
Classy affair.
Good luck with that.
And this is, we're also joined today by a very special guest, Peter Bella, Chicago cop, and also the
Cooking Cop.
The Cooking Cop.
Yes,
CookingCop.com. Also Chicago Now, right?
Chicago Now, Interesting Chicago, yeah.
Interesting Chicago. And also this, I'm going to have to let Rocky take this one. We can't, there's no middle ground with this one.
And now, here's that man with a head just crammed full of knowledge, Mr. Know-It-All.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Know-It-All, the segment where the points really don't matter.
You said that last week. I don't know what that means.
I got it from Whose Line Is It Anyway? I'm trying to do new things here. Just like how you yelled into the microphone that one time. It didn't work.
I don't know if that
I wouldn't advise. It doesn't work. We're going to change that. So we're going to do Mr. Know-It-All with our guest, Peter Bella.
Peter Bella today is our Mr. Know-It-All. And I mentioned that the blog, thecookingcop.com, and his articles that are on chicagonow.com. And other things I've seen you. For instance, I know you did a podcast with John Cass,
right?
And so you're getting out there. If you blog your name, or if you Google your name, I should say, a lot of stuff comes up, and I did that before you came in. I Googled your name, and I saw, and kind of what comes with attention when you're doing something, you're putting yourself out there, and you're telling people what you think. Not everybody agrees with you. How does that affected you? Has it affected you? And if it has, let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I don't. You're always going to have people that don't agree with you. Okay, whether it's the food stuff or an Interesting Chicago.
Even the food stuff.
Oh, sure. But I don't mind disagreement. This is what part of our freedom is. We don't have to agree. This is the marketplace of ideas. You have your own ideas, and you want to go home and burn your omelet. That's your problem. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. You can have your own opinion on stuff like that. And I sort of like, it's like water off a duck with me. I mean, I don't have a thin skin. I don't get into it with the commenters. If I find something, I get a lot more emails than I get comments.
Well, you mentioned that you don't really even watch the comments.
I don't watch the comments, but I know what I get, and because especially on the Cooking Cap, every time there's a comment, I'm emailed.
Mm-hmm.
But I get a lot more emails, and whether it's on immigration or something else or whatever, we all have strong feelings on certain things. And if somebody says, "Look, I really don't agree with you, and this is why," and blah, blah, blah. I'll write a nice little response, thank you very much for reading, and that's fine. If I get, the real flamers, they go right into the delete the trash box or whatever. Because,
well, again, in my when I Googled your name, I was looking at some people talking about one of your articles. The one that came up was, an immigration. You had written about immigration, and I read the article, and I didn't have a visceral evil opinion of it, although I don't agree with all of it.
That's fine.
But I do see what I was with Jimmy and I would talk about this. We were all there was something against letting the Italians into America. The Irish, they didn't want the Irish.
I hear if you go Puck Magazine at the Driehaus Museum, they have exhibition. Okay, and now this was like the 1870s to early 1900s, and the Irish were, as you said, discriminated against. And Puck was a cartoon magazine, political cartoons,
I remember.
And they show the Irish with simian features. We always have to make the people we don't like look like animals.
Yes.
Okay, so this is nothing new, and but I really don't. I don't have time for the people you want to insult me. You're not going to insult me. I'll send a screaming home to your mommy. I've been insulted by the best. I've been abused by the best. It's not going to happen. Okay. I don't really get into it like I said, I get a lot. I mean, I get some really hate email on some of the stuff I write. I just ignore it. It doesn't bother me.
That's good because again, I think a lot of when you put yourself out there,
if somebody says, "Hey, look, you did make a mistake on this paragraph," and they're vehement, I will check. I will go back. All right, here's the paragraph, and I'll find out where I got the information, and if I use any information, it's from credible sources. I don't like, some of the wild stuff out here. I don't.
Well, that's a little bit different than criticism.
And then I'll go back and say, okay, you know what? Let's just agree to disagree because, some people get really upset if they think they got you.
Well, one of my first commercials, I talk about, that I'm from Illinois, and people, I got a call, it's not Illinois, it's Illinois. I'm like, I never even put that together.
Is it milk or milk?
But people concern themselves about this stuff.
They do.
It's like, and so I get calls sometimes. We had the one call here. So anyway, I hope.
Is it soda or pop?
Yeah, I hope it's pop. It's pop.
I hope that answers your question.
That's right, ladies.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
That's right. Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All. Our guest, Peter Bella, here. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned after the commercial break because we're going to be talking a little baseball, talking a little sports. But remember, if you have any IRS help or if you have any issues, call Open Tax Resolution 312-664-6649. Stay tuned on AM 560. The Answer.